Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Assist. I'm your host, Noah Harrington. To my right, we are down the host. We have nobody. Our Houston sports expert is in Houston, once again, being a sports expert. But to his right, we got Coach G, and we're in here today.
I'm all the way in here. I'm hogging up all the seats over here on this side.
Got to. You know, we're missing a guy, but you know what I mean. He'll be back.
Stretch my ass out. I'm long in this bitch.
We got not too much on the board, but there's some controversial stuff on the board today. So, first we got to give a shout out to my guy, our host we're missing, Mr. J down there in Houston. You already know.
Woo, woo.
Putting it on for you. You know we're going to hold the show down for you.
Throwing up a big ass H for my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
First, we got to start with AB. You know, he's, the AB story is kind of seeming to come to an end. Maybe some help is being placed where it was needed. He put out, I want to say it was on Instagram, an apology he posted a picture of him and Ben, talked about, I'm paraphrasing, but he talked about how he was ungrateful, how he, looking back now, how he had it great. Yeah, he was in a great situation, great quarterback, great team, great coach, blah, 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 blah. Kind of feels...
Yeah, you screwed us over, AB. I mean, come on now.
You screwed a lot of people over.
You screwed
himself being one of them.
But when you cut your nose off in spite of your face,
yeah,
I have a right to point that shit out.
Yeah,
you screwed over ducats for your family. You done screwed over your ability to be playing in the league. You should have already been on the team. Should have had a good run at a championship with a team.
We should have been the Super Bowl champions because we would have had Antonio Brown as our wideout.
You had it, and to be honest with you, I hated that move. I was on record with saying that move is the most bogus ass move. He had it set up, and he cried over there as a Raider, so he can make sure he knew this was going to happen. He planned it out from. I mean, I was part of the whole sinister plan that
the Raiders would have been a great team
from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Raiders would have been a great team if he would have.
He would have had to work a lot harder.
That's where the antics started.
He would have had to work a lot harder.
No. But he would have made them. They started
because he started taking unnecessary shots in the locker room, spilled on over into the media, and he didn't do anything to do damage control.
He became the media. I don't want to say ringmaster because he did.
He became the smoking gun.
Yeah,
and where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly.
Over there, you take
Oakland.
that shit out the locker room, and it follows you wherever you go. You are the smoking gun.
Exactly.
I'm just glad on the flip side of that coin. I'm glad that. I'm not sure if anybody's getting out to him, reaching out to him. If this is doctor related,
he has to take mental health classes. That was part of his.
That is a big step.
Yeah,
I'm big on the mental awareness push because it is a real thing that a lot of people,
especially in that sport,
a lot of people suffer from. And in a sport where you use your head, when you have to put a safety device around your head. I mean, there's
probably going to be some long-term problems.
There's the high risk of potential. We're just saying that because they're trying to change the rules.
You look at boxers who can't talk. They can barely put a sentence together.
Boxing is one of the sports. I'm not sure. I think that may be the only sport where in the rules it does say, and maybe
you
MMA,
can die.
You can die.
Yeah,
it is possible you can not make it out of this match.
I want to say. Not too long ago, a guy recently passed like that. He got out. I really want to say that's what happened. He got hit pretty hard. Maybe I want to say fell into a coma, fell into an unconscious state.
Is what
ended up passing.
That's what ended up.
And it was crazy. And to be the fighter who did that to be the Drago to that Creed. I mean, Drago wanted to do that, but that's just a whole nother.
No, there's another fighter. I can't think of his name, but he actually had a dream. And I'm not going to say names because I will be wrong. I recently, maybe a month or two ago, was discussing it with another colleague of mine, boxer, older boxer. I want to say it may have been the Sugar.
Sugar did pass. Did Sugar pass?
Not pass. Sugar had a dream about fighting an individual. It was a black man and a white man, And the reason I said in that because it was dated back in the 70s. Maybe around that time.
It would have been along the lines of race, maybe.
It's not Sugar Ray. It's somebody said it was a couple of people who
famous
used the
boxer?
name. It's a famous boxer
With a famous nickname.
With a famous nickname of Sugar. It's one of the Sugars, and then you got Shane Mosley, you got Sugar Ray Leonard, and you got another Sugar.
You got Sugar Ray Robinson.
It may have been Sugar Ray Robinson. Dead ass. He had a dream. Google that. Facts check me right quick. He had a dream, and it'll talk about it. That's just Sugar Ray Robinson killing a man in the ring. He had a dream. This is the eerie part. He dreamed about this and went and said, I don't want to fight this man. I had a bad dream. It disturbed me enough to go to the board and say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight. And they talked him out of it. Told him, "No, it was just a dream." You know how you go. It's just a dream. And
Jimmy Doyle, Sugar Ray Robinson,
and he ended up hitting him, and
killed him.
Fell, and he died.
A few hours later,
died from
failed
injuries.
to regain consciousness in the hospital.
He didn't want to fight that fight. Long story short, there's your facts check. There's your history. If you didn't know,
this is what you said. The 70s.
Yeah.
1947.
Oh, excuse me.
That's just wild to think
a long
that
time ago, but it's been around that long.
Okay, you see football from when you go back to the 1920s, you see the safety improvements football has made
with the leather strap belts that they used to put around your head with the little bandanas.
And now you got a face mask and a helmet and some protection.
It can be
some
aired
padding.
up.
Exactly.
It's levels to protection.
Boxing has not wavered. Floyd money. That's where the wavering has came.
Only thing
I don't want to get hit.
Changed is the
try
boxing
to hit me.
gloves. Is the material and trying to make the boxing gloves. But even that's when Mayweather and Pacquiao, Mayweather had a big issue about what kind of tape Pacquiao was using.
Exactly.
He said he could
How
feel
heavy
the
are
tape.
they?
How heavy is the tape? He could feel it, and
I want to say it was Ali who fought somebody, and they were smearing the stuff on his gloves.
Yeah. I know.
It may have been Ali.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, it's a bunch
you
of
you get a cut, it starts stinging.
Yeah, it stings a little bit more. So
it's crazy to see the progressive society that we're in today. You would think MMA or boxing would be at that forefront of change. You know, like we said, there's people who have literally died. There's people who are trying to be announcers after their career and can barely get words out.
It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of. You don't have to have mass numbers. To come up with change.
Exactly, and I think that's probably the biggest sport where okay. So football, you got a lot of positions. Not everybody's getting hit. So not everybody's going to fall into CTE.
We discussed a safety position in
boxing. I'm getting hit. You're going to get hit.
There's nothing safe about. But only thing that's
Floyd
safe
Mayweather
about
is probably the only person you can count the times he's been hit to the point where it's a problem, where he kind of stumbles or that hurt. You know what I mean?
You can tell that he actually got stung with that one. That one hurt him. He's going to have to survive this round type deal.
And there's only one Floyd Mayweather ever, so you know what I mean?
Doesn't happen too often. That's why people don't give Floyd his credit, and simply because he got that mouth on him.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the bottom line. He's defended that championship 50-plus times with that same mouth, whooping or put up or shut up. I mean, it is what it is. And if you get whooped by him, I mean, you just got to take that L. But you're not the first one. And you might have been the last one, McGregor. However, it is what it is. The boy is bad with his hands. He's one of a kind with them hands.
He really is.
Like it or hate it. It is what it is.
I don't see
that man's game.
Exactly. You have to respect it.
But as far as a boxer, how can you not sit here and say that he is one of the greatest?
Like these boxing
not the greatest, but one of. Because
I'll say he's the greatest. What is he, welter? I want to say he's welter, middle, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. I know but however, there's a couple of names that hold belts in different weight classes that I have to give homage also.
True.
That's
overall,
that's a unique sport. But in his
featherweight,
that's what I was thinking.
Fly, feather. He's jumped around from there.
Yeah.
Light fly. He is like 150, 140.
Yeah, he
ain't no welter.
He's that guy. He's that guy with the hands.
He is.
But back to
he's
football.
He's changed the sport where like I was saying, you see there was no safety improvements anywhere, maybe in the gloves, and that's helping yourself so you don't break a hand or something.
His
you know what I mean?
Is try to hit me. Defense.
Try to hit me.
He developed, and people
I'm not gonna have
that.
CTE 50 years after this game. After I'm done putting my all into this, I'm gonna put my all, and I'm gonna still be able to do whatever it is I want to do after. Still have the intelligent this whatever I need to do. You just got to try to hit me.
The whole notion of being a brawler,
exactly. There's a bunch of brawlers back then.
It's ludicrous. I mean, but that was how you made your steak. That's how you put food on the table. You go out there, you slug it out. Nobody wants to see anybody dance around.
Yeah,
but
Tyson,
Mayweather, I have to.
On the 30-year reunion of Tyson and Buster, this wasn't like Buster was out there dancing. It wasn't like Mike was out there dancing.
No,
and they're heavy dudes.
And that's a controversial fight also because when Tyson knocked Buster down,
so they gave him about 13 count.
Yeah, 12 to 13 second count. All the boxing fans out there should know you only get 10, and it starts when you hit the canvas.
Exactly, and you usually only get 8 because if you're not up by then,
they waving it off.
Yeah, I gotta wipe your gloves down before I say you're good to go.
So and that's for another story.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that when Jay gets back up here. We'll talk to him about that. Do you have any thoughts on that Douglas fight? I know you were around in that era.
I was actually a young buck at that time. I watched it and then see Tyson drop. Well, not necessarily see Tyson drop, to see the referee wave it off. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, it's over? Are you serious? And Tyson, you got to keep in mind, Tyson was on a streak of, I think his last 4 or 5 fights lasted a total of like 3.5 minutes at best. He was dropping people early. Like if you bought that, you spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Either you watched it.
I know that's what Tyson's crazy for.
Yeah, you either watched the undercards and got your money's worth through that, because if you was just waiting for Tyson to come on,
it's like that Martin episode.
5 minutes.
That Martin episode. Yeah. They waited all day. They waited all day, get the cable fixed to watch the Tyson fight. The cable doesn't get fixed until seconds before the Tyson fight. Mike Tyson, ding ding. And it's over.
It's over. Yeah, exactly. Just like that.
Oh man, everybody walks out the room.
And that's why that's true stories though. I mean, I remember watching people jumping up.
So what was the house like? Was the house just in a shock? Or I mean, I know the sports world was in a shock. But
keep in mind, it was already people, and I was too young to really just understand why are people upset.
Yeah,
you know, this man got knocked down. This man just got knocked down, but I like this man.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that the count was so important. I just thought, he didn't kill him or he didn't knock him down. You know, he was able to get back up. But as you grow up, you learn that, no, you get 8 seconds.
Yeah.
If you don't even look like you're going to put 9 and 10 together, I can't let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. To know that man ended up getting 12 to 13 seconds.
Yeah. That's, and then,
Tyson got shitted on
days
during that
prior
time.
Or days after they have the meetings and this, that, and the third, and that's the beginning of the 90s, literally second month into the 90s, and that's just. I don't think I could fathom that. I don't think I've been through that. I think the biggest loss in my sports world so far happened in January with the passing of Kobe.
Yeah.
Biggest, just lost. Lakers lose finals, but
give you an idea of what it was on.
Was it OJ race?
It was first and goal. You got the ball. You got a Marshawn Lynch, and you pass it.
Okay. So
and
it's
you
like
pass
what?
it. So this is a
baffling.
good fight, but they about to punch it in and knock you on out.
Yeah.
And whoop.
Okay.
This
no,
happened.
They didn't.
Yeah. This what happened. So that's what I would have probably compared to the most, because that's exactly, I had the same stun ugh.
Yeah.
But I watched that Super Bowl and I was irate. But how you have Marshawn Lynch?
That's for a whole other. I mean, I don't know how many times you've said that on here. We got to jump to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after these messages. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Assist. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Noah Harrington. To my right, we have nobody. We're missing our Houston sports expert. He's in Houston, being a sports expert. What's going on, Jay? I know you're listening. And to his right, we got Coach G. We were talking football. We were talking boxing. We were talking safety improvements in both sports. But now we got...
lack of.
Yeah, lack of. Well, not really in football.
Not too much.
But,
football.
you know, they got some problems over there that they can't really.
That's what we
help.
were saying. Football has come along compared to boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing is still stuck in the 40s.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, literally.
In the 40s of football.
Yeah.
To where they're using the bare minimum.
Pads and now
we can't say that. Because, you know, your Olympics and your intramural boxing, your amateur, your low-level boxing, they do have headgear.
You
wear your headgear and everything, but people still get knocked out through the headgear.
I was just about to say the technology behind the headgear versus the developments of the helmet.
Exactly.
I mean, you can put them side by side throughout the years and just watch them on the
headgear hasn't changed.
It's not, you're going to get maybe 3 different type of headgear, and that's small, medium, and large.
Exactly.
And for that big-headed sucker, that extra large.
And I'm sure at one point they were probably using wrestling headgear for,
you know
ear covers.
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't put it past. I mean you could have. I don't know.
Somebody probably did something like that.
I can see that.
But we got to talk basketball. There's a lot of news in basketball. We got to start with the devastating. I won't say devastating, but I know it hurts him. I know it's devastating for him. The injury to Damian Lillard, his right groin strain. Not too bad of an injury, but it did. He's not expected to make it to the All-Star game. He's being replaced.
Shout out to the announcer who thought he rolled his ankle.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
He was pretty. I don't know
if
he was trying to do damage control, because if you watch the game, then you know clearly it was not his ankle. He did not grab his ankle. Okay, but he has a significant groin injury. It's gonna hobble him and keep him out of. As he said, I will not be playing in the All-Star game nor the 3-point contest.
But the guy got his blessing. I think I didn't really need his blessing. He was probably the front runner to replace him, but I'm glad he gave him the blessing. Devin Booker is replacing Damian Lillard.
I'm on the fence on this one.
In the 3-point contest and the All-Star game.
Yeah, he's going to be replacing him as a West start. Well, not starting, but as a West guard. That's where rotation.
This is my thing. They said we did a whole list of our All-Stars and everything, East, West. And then they switched them. Team LeBron has Jason Tatum on it. On the reserves. Yeah.
So
I think they put people out by... I think this is what they did. They probably put people out by conference. Here's the All-Stars for the conference. Here are who y'all get to choose from, LeBron and Giannis. And then they let them choose.
Oh, so your starting 5 is your conference.
Yeah, your starting 5 is
and
within your
reserves
conference.
Are just the team you can
pick
that you want to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty dope little idea. I didn't realize that Tatum had ended up sneaking in on the West. Can you call it the West now?
That's what I'm saying. It's just Team LeBron.
Team LeBron versus Team Giannis, I guess.
Right. I'll get Team LeBron pulled up for everybody. Clearly, Team LeBron is favored over Team Giannis. Team LeBron, coached by Frank Vogel. You got your starters: Bron, Luka, Kawhi, Harden, Davis. Okay, here are your reserves: Book, Chris Paul, Jokic, Ben Simmons, Domantas Sabonis, Jason Tatum, Russell Westbrook. Other side, Team Giannis, coached by Nick Nurse. You got Giannis, Joel, Pascal, Kemba, Trey, Bam Adebayo, Brandon Ingram, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, Kyle Lowry, and Chris Middleton. So, I mean, there's... Team LeBron is wearing 2 and Team Giannis is wearing 24. But, yeah, B.I.'s not in the East. Gobert's not in the East. You know what I mean? So,
and B.I. was on...
he was on that first Giannis list. Or he was on the first LeBron list. Sorry, yeah. And so I think we kind of had it wrong. We may have jumped the gun a little bit. They probably announced All-Stars and then said, here y'all go, here's the pool of players you get to choose from. I'm surprised Jimmy Butler was not one of the first picks. I'm surprised. I would think LeBron would love Jimmy Butler on his team.
And that's who I'm looking at right now. I'm shocked.
Probably the best player off the bench Giannis's team.
And yeah, you got Mitchell Negro coming from the West to help out. Rudy Gobert.
Bradley Beal needs to be on that list.
And Bradley Beal should have been on there.
He needs to be on one of the teams.
I'm picking Bradley Beal over Kemba Walker.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't know where. I mean, I like Kemba. He can score this, that, and the third,
I might
but
even go
he's
as far
not.
as saying I'm picking Bradley Beal over Jason Tatum. Not that I wouldn't pick Tatum, but if I'm looking at both of them,
if you're LeBron in that team,
and I'm looking at both of them, I'm picking Bill. He's got it. I'm picking Bill. I like Bill.
And then on the other side, Ben Simmons is not on the West. Is not in the West. You know what I mean?
Bron picked up, and that's another Bron without a jumper. Simmons, as far as getting to the hole, getting where he wants, and dropping
passing.
a dime, yeah,
amazing vision.
He got 2 out the 3 of.
Speaking of him, great segue. Speaking of him, did you see him hit 8 corner threes?
Yeah, I had to watch it 8 different times just to make sure that he did.
So you watched him hit 64 threes?
64 threes.
Almost hit 24 threes.
Yeah, my
math is very off.
I was gonna roast you. I was gonna cook you. Whoever your math teacher was gonna get a shout out.
Shout out, Miss Autry.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just. I love seeing the improvement.
And I like that he's working on it.
Gain the confidence to pull it.
It's not going to help you until you really start doing it in a game speed. Because if you try to hit
throwing them up, you're not getting no game muscle memory.
You're not even in good form. Exactly. You're not running to the spot hard trying to get open
the way you will in an NBA game.
Guarding you.
Exactly.
You're just in a practice. You can't simulate game speed.
Exactly. So when you try to go and throw it and use it in game speed,
I really don't care how
now
hard
you're running to the corner.
And
now you're falling off balance. You can't get the shot up the way you wanted it. You didn't pull it quick enough because you didn't practice it that way. You just sat there lazily. Oh, give me the pass. Take a couple dribbles.
Make sure you throw it to me right here. Don't have me going,
Exactly.
What if
Trainers, that's what y'all need to do. That's a good thing that you brought that up. Trainers need to help.
Used to be a coach.
Trainers need to help the players more than just helping the player's ego. Okay, I can give it to J.R. Smith in his shooting pocket, and he'll make it 20 times in a row. I know that. But J.R. Smith is a high school prospect who never went to college. He must be good, right? So if I throw it in that shooting pocket, he's gonna be perfect, beautiful form. It's gonna feel great every time.
But
if I throw it to the left and make you step out a little, exactly. Do you know how to recover?
I need to throw overhand, 2-hand passes to you because those come with a little bit more heat. I need to throw those one-handed bounce passes that have a little English on it, trying to, weave it around.
Spinning your hand a little bit. You don't catch the ball the way you want it. That's why I love Guy Shammgod over there with the Mavs because I love player trainers.
Yes, sir.
Because they give you that. There's a guy, Adam Harrington. He has my last name. I just putting.
The lethal shooter.
Yeah, just putting 2 and 2 together. Adam Harrington, he was a OKC trainer for a long time, and then he played with Dirk and stuff, and he was a Mavs trainer for a little bit. And he helped KD implement Dirk's off-balanceness into his game.
Mm-hmm. He sure did.
Exactly. There's another. That's just now you can see KD can turn this way and pull it to where last year. Or the year before, he wasn't able to do that. That's where you could stop it.
He had to have both feet underneath him.
Exactly.
To pull that off. Now, he'll shock you because he can set his feet up in a different manner. You don't have that telltale giveaway anymore. Oh, his feet are planted.
Exactly.
Let me step into him. Let me help keep my hands.
We always got to talk about Kobe up here. Speaking of Bean, he said he knew how to lock down a rookie Kevin Durant. Rookie year in Seattle, he said he had him on lock.
For that reason,
he said the league was running wild with KD. KD's putting up 30 here, 25 over here, having a great year, averaging 20 plus, 22 plus. Come to the Lakers, get shut down. Because you know why? Because he said KD would bring the ball to the left side a little bit. Kind of how Lonzo does, not to the Lonzo extent, but just kind of bring it to the left side.
He knew when he was doing that.
And he said all he had to do was cut that side off. He can't get a shot off anymore. Because he has to be on that side to bring it over. Next year, he comes back, he can't... Kobe doesn't know what to do anymore because KD's going straight up with his jumper now.
Yep.
So
it showed during them playoff runs.
Exactly.
I mean, I hated battles with them OKC teams when they was stacked up like that against them Lakers. Ugh.
I mean, that just
was
shows
just that
you,
team that you had to. Man, I don't care what they record look like. They come to play y'all.
Exactly.
They about to give you the biz.
That shows you that little improvements in your game can make the biggest changes. That's why, like, you saw Giannis get shut down in the paint last season. Eastern Conference Finals. Got shut down. The person who scored the most paint points in the modern NBA era since Shaquille O'Neal was shut down in the paint by a little, well, not little, I mean by a 6'8" man with 10-foot hands, right?
Yeah,
and
them 10-foot hands, you can do some things.
And now that 10-foot hand man isn't really even the monster that he was last year.
No,
he's not stopping the person who he stopped last year. You know what I mean? Improvements is what I was just...
I mean, the improvements that Giannis is making, they're doing what they did last year. So I'm not necessarily just sold on, oh yeah, that's the dangerous team.
Oh,
true. They've made some adjustments in their lineup.
I'll say they're dangerous.
They were dangerous last year. I'll pick them to make the whole push.
Me
at
too.
least coming out the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. I pick them this year.
Yeah, and I pick them again this year. However, I didn't put all my eggs in the same basket as much as I did last year. I just put majority of them here. But I understand that they do have a Achilles heel, and it got exposed. They got their Achilles heels cut last year.
Yeah.
And when Giannis went down, but let me point this out to you, because that loss last night was minus Giannis. So that tells me that without Giannis, y'all want to talk about LeBron-led teams. This is a heavily Giannis-led team.
But you have some good people over there. You
got some good people.
Dogs who can play. I mean, we just watched Chris Middleton put up 51. So it's not like Chris isn't a slouch or nothing.
However, they took a bad L last night.
But they are not being held to the same Giannis isn't being held to the same carrying standard that LeBron is or has been for however many years.
Facts.
Giannis is leading this team. He's carrying this team. He's their heart and soul behind it. Granted, they win a couple games when he's gone, but I mean, you're gonna win when you play this team or you play this team. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm putting more chips in this basket this year than what I did last year because they don't really have the competition this year. You know, your 10-foot man, your 10-foot hand man just went to a whole other conference. You don't got to really worry about him anymore.
And I see your point there.
You got to worry about a prima donna in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. That's really in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy's probably the one who's going to give you all the smoke. You could probably finish Philly in 6 games.
They have an 11-game lead on Miami.
Exactly.
Prior to the loss, these last few moves that has happened, and prior to this loss, right?
But their length is my thing. Well, hold on. Let me say this. Let me talk about the improve. Okay, so why I'm putting more chips in this basket than I did last year before we jump into our commercial break. I'm putting more chips in this year because, like I said, they have less competition in that situation, and failure brings experience. You got shut down, Giannis. You know you got shut down. They talked about it for 3 weeks straight on ESPN.
Yeah.
There's nothing more you can do. You have a mama mentality, and I know he probably called Kobe and was like, "Yo, they shut me down." And Kobe was probably like, "Yeah, MF, you were. They sure did. That bad man, that 10-foot hand man, shut you down.
What are you gonna do?
Come to Mamba Academy. Let me show you how to fix it." And I think he went. I think he's going to use the stuff he learned, implement it in playoff time. Get him there, kind of do what Bron does, and then I think Giannis is going to be the next person to go who sees red in the playoffs. We're going to jump more into this, talk more about this when we get back from our commercial break. But yeah, here's a quick word. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the last half hour of The Assist. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Noah Harrington. To my right, I have nobody. Our Houston sports expert is in Houston being a sports expert. What's going on, Jay? I know you're listening. And to the right of nobody, I was about to say to his right, We got Coach G. We're in here talking basketball. We got a lot going on. I saw a post. We were talking about this during the commercial break. Saw a post alluding to the top five shooting guards of all time, if I can get this out right.
The top twos.
Top 5 twos of all time. Number one, of course, it's going to be my... Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of... Nah. One, you already know it's going to be Mike. You already know that. I'm going to sit up here and argue it today, but it's a non-argumentable point for some people. And I see why.
I mean...
2 is Bean.
I get it.
2 is Kobe.
And that will be the argument.
That's the argument. 3, Dwayne Wade. 4, James Harden. And 5 is Allen Iverson. Okay.
I know a lot of people was probably thinking that it's not jumpers. Okay?
Yeah,
I have to
the position of a shooting guard.
Because once it's the position of the shooting guard. Because I know you're gonna sit up there and say, "Well,
Allen Iverson can't shoot. Dwayne Wade can't shoot.
Well, he ain't a shooter." Okay, so
get him in the mid range. He's gonna shoot the lights out.
Yeah, he will.
So I want to start with my AI point first, or with my AI argument first.
Okay.
So the 2 people above him are James Harden at 4, Dwayne Wade at 3. I see Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is a 3-time champion, MVP, Finals MVP. Well, D Wade is not an MVP. He's a Finals MVP. I mean, he's the Flash. It's not like D Wade. D Wade can go without saying. I understand why D Wade's there. Do I personally think D Wade can stop AI? No.
No.
Not at all. Probably jump higher than him. That's about it.
I mean, he'll have some success, but it's not like he ain't never had a D-Wade-esque caliber player defending him
exactly
in a championship.
I mean, he had Michael Jordan on him.
He had Kobe Bryant in a championship. You feel me?
Oh, don't. All right, that's where we're about to. We're about to start with championships. Okay, so he won his championships. I get why D Wade's there. Okay, I can see that, but you have to see the argument for it. Now, where I cannot see an argument for, well, I can't say that. I can't say it because you brought up a good point. Where they're going with it, I see where they're going with it, and years to come, if you go by numbers, blah 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 blah. James Harden cannot be over Allen Iverson if for anybody who knows basketball, you know James Harden, as of right now, is not a better shooting guard than Allen Iverson. James Harden will never be able to lead a team by himself to the finals in which Allen Iverson did. And I want to say they won a game.
You can look at their roster and you can make heavy arguments. I think they have Mutombo.
They had an old Mutombo and an old Kukoc.
Yeah. You had
and Dikembe's never been a...
You had McKee. McKee was good. He could ball out, but still, these
Eric
are players
Snow's your point guard.
These are players that you're probably scratching your head like, who, what?
Essentially, Allen Iverson did what a 2005 to 2007 Kobe, what a 2005-2007 Kobe Bryant was trying to do.
Was trying to execute.
Trying to take a team of 1 to the finals. And Allen Iverson is the only person I've seen do that. Okay? No, I've seen LeBron do it, but LeBron's not on this list. LeBron's a 3, blah, 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 blah. Anyways. And nobody's won doing that. You can't win doing that by yourself. That's people can get there, but it's really never going to work if you're doing it by yourself. You got to come up against that buzzsaw. Yeah. So there was that argument. Harden has never... He doesn't have the accolade. I get your 60 points. I get your 60 points here. Your 61 over there. I don't see you having a 50-point game your rookie year. I didn't see you crossing a however many time defensive player of the year that Jordan was. I don't see you leading a team against a 2001 Kobe Bryant and Shaq.
Here's the flip side of that coin.
I didn't see AI going 1 for 19, 1 for 18.
Being drafted, the position, where he was, Harden was drafted, and where he landed, he ended up being on the team. We didn't necessarily know all about KD and what he was going to bring. We knew he had a high side. We knew Russell Westbrook had a very good upside also. But Harden was the third option. I mean, they always knew that Harden was the third option. So
first option off the bench.
To that point, Harden has developed his game.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But it's been strictly offense.
Exactly.
His defense is offense. You go down and score 2, I'll give you that 2 because I'm about to hit a 3.
Exactly.
So I'm 1 up.
Yeah.
You go down there and hit a 2.
Let me hit another one.
Yeah, you go down there and hit another 2. And I come down. Now, I'm up 2. You got to hit a bucket. And
you better not foul me.
Yeah. And, so.
But Kobe Bryant also came in kind of a situation like that where James was the third option. Kobe wasn't even the third option. Kobe was your 12th option. Your 10th, 11th.
Do we dare go in with Kobe?
I mean, and Kobe could sit here and tell you.
The rest of the show over what Kobe done with his opportunity
exactly.
and getting that position to talk about the best.
And
put together
this is a whole other side of the spectrum that you have to see. James Harden is a one-dimensional player. He plays one side of the ball.
He's a
one-way player.
One-way player.
And on a list of two-ways. And Allen Iverson's probably the next non-two-way, and he's more of a two-way than James Harden has ever been.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was that point. Allen Iverson. Now I got to get to my Kobe point. On this list, to me, Kobe Bryant is number 1, and it's not because he passed. I'd have told you this January 25th, why he's number 1.
Facts.
Why Kobe Bryant is number 1. The student passes the teacher, right? Student always passes the teacher, blah, 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 blah. Okay? There's no teacher for Jordan to pass. So, I mean, that's just, I don't think I need to say anything more. There's nobody for you to pass. You passing the torch down. It's not like you've done what you had to do. Granted, it helped Kobe.
Who is that?
It helped Kobe implement what he had to do, and he took what you did.
Sorry, Dean. Yeah.
3 times better. Like I said with Curry and Trey, you kick open the door, and then a person comes in and blows the door wide open.
Let me add my point about Kobe.
And I have another thing to say, too.
Okay. The Bulls were a very good defensive team. They executed and was able to take high-scoring teams and make them look very average. Keep scores driven down low. Keep the pressure on your neck.
Yep.
That's not done by yourself.
No, not at all.
Okay, so on the list of two-ways, you got your couple of one-way players on here that's sticking out. We already talked about that. But like I said, on the list on two ways, Jordan had the most help
defensively.
I
mean, he has however many time All-Star sitting defensive. Not just to mention All-Star, defensive All-Star.
Scottie Pippen was
defensive All-Team.
Scottie Pippen is the definition of dog. Yo, Robin to Batman.
Best defender all time. Best perimeter defender all time. I don't think it's.
Kawhi can make a good case for that, but definitely.
But this is my thing about that. You can't. A boxer is never going to win an MMA fight. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and say somebody who plays both sides of the ball is better on this side of the ball than somebody who only plays this side of the ball. You know what I mean? Kobe said it. Tony Allen's the best player the hardest player he's had to score on.
Yeah.
Best defender, blah, 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 blah. So, you take notions in like that. Tony Allen was never 20 points.
He gonna bust your ass.
I don't even think Tony Allen ever scored 25 points.
I mean, he may have had one of them games where he was just in the right place at the right time.
And it's a big deal.
And it happened.
Exactly.
But it's a big deal.
It's all over SportsCenter. Tony Allen with 40, blah, 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 blah.
I've seen...
And that's somebody who is kind of along those lines as a Pippen. Pippen had games here and there where he'd have... But that's not what Pippen was there for. He wants to stop
they gave Pippen the opportunity to do it on his own. Jordan made his move. Pippen went over to Portland. Mm-hmm. Had a little bit of success. They did make a
that's when super teams were trying to become a super team.
They made a run
old
against
super
Houston,
teams.
though, didn't they? They ended up having to go against Houston at one point. Houston ended up knocking them out and getting a push for the championship. But I want to say they had a couple of Western Conference battles, or may have played each other in the semi.
It's so weird to see. When all the greats were getting shipped off to different teams, like when Ewan wasn't playing for the Knicks anymore.
It's so common to see it now, but it's so weird
to see Pippen and not a Bulls jersey.
Yeah.
To sit there and see him in a Portland jersey.
But Jordan had a lot of help around
Houston
him.
jersey.
They were built really solid.
That's where he went after. He went to Houston.
Who?
He went to Houston, then Portland.
Pippen went to Houston?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Just for a year.
For a year? He went to Houston? And played? Wow.
98, 99?
What was I doing? Man. Fell off Earth for a year. I did not know that.
That's when the Knicks won. It was Knicks and Spurs in the championship. I think that was the birth of... Yeah, it's the birth of Tim Duncan. Tim's first ring. Might be Tim's first or second ring they won the year before. No. That's when Jordan and them stopped.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, that's where... I didn't even know he played for Houston. I thought he played for Houston after Portland. I thought he played for Blue Houston.
Like that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
that's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, Pippen, to me, I can't... I get what you're saying, and Kawhi could end up being that player, but I can't say that...
being equivalent, but however...
Somebody who dominates on this side.
Yeah, he
solely loves to do this.
And it's so much... I mean, it makes your job as a defender so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
When you have somebody who's going to...
Let alone 4 other people doing what they need to do.
What you know what I'm saying?
It's so great.
With the same passion.
I know you're a coach, so I know you can agree to this. It's so great when the team does it right.
When they gel.
When they run the triangle offense right. When they move on a string together. When they trap and the guy comes and the next when it goes right.
When it works.
It's beautiful.
Just sit there and you just like, man, yeah, it gives you chills.
Why can't y'all do this every play? You know y'all love it. You know what I mean?
It really does. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is.
But my last point on this Kobe thing, because we got to talk about some other stuff going on. Furthering my point, if Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan were to play 1-on-1, I can see Kobe Bryant scoring on Michael Jordan, right? You know, student versus teacher. Student gets the shot up right, blah, 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 right? I can't see Kobe Bryant having it in him to let Michael Jordan score against him. Just the Mamba... Jordan didn't have a Mamba mentality. You can sit here and say that because that's not...
Jordan had something, they just didn't.
It wasn't a Mamba mentality,
they just
though.
Didn't label it.
The Mamba mentality is not going to have you
tongue.
losing 50 racks before a playoff game. Granted, you're going to come into that playoff game and score 30 on anybody, but still.
Here's the deal about Jordan.
There's a certain type of focus that comes with Kobe Bryant that doesn't come with Michael Jordan.
I get that, but when Jordan had that tongue sticking out, you knew he was rolling at that point. He was about to give you the blues.
So are you picking...
No, I'm not picking.
A bike-shirting Kobe?
I get what you're saying, because Kobe is the student.
It's that demeanor in him. Like, I can't let... It's like you want to beat your dad.
The teacher is going to definitely teach. Okay? And it's going to be some things that the student's going to love to show that, hey, I learned this, and this is what I learned by learning this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's called growth.
Uh-huh.
So I watched you do this, and I learned how to defend it. I learned how to do it.
Exactly.
And then I learned my weakness of doing this, and I learned how to develop my weakness into a strength.
And it's not like you've ever seen me do this.
Exactly.
So that's where I have one up on you.
That's why I have a surprise.
Exactly. I got a trick up the sleeve, and I think Kobe has a lot of tricks up the sleeve.
Because that's what you're used to seeing. This is what you see people do to you. This is what you're going to try to do. But I also watched this, and I've studied it. And I've developed a move to counter that move.
Well,
to get my shot off. Because ultimately, how can I win championships if I'm not scoring? I got to score to get on there.
And to your point, Kobe Bryant has had the least help on defense and is probably the second best defender on this list. I won't say he's a better defender than Jordan. Jordan's a however many time defensive player of the year.
Yeah, Jordan's a stud.
Jordan's a stud on defense. And he doesn't take plays off the same way Kobe Bryant does.
Again, yeah, that's a good point.
But
and I love Bean, but Bean will take a play off out of frustration.
Yeah,
the frustration.
But that's a rare thing
with the other dogs on there. I mean, it was a '96 Bulls team that. Well, hold on. 94, 95, 96, that 94, 95, 96.
First three-peat? Oh, well, that's not the first three-peat. 94 and 95, I don't think Jordan was playing.
94 and 95, Houston Rockets.
Yeah, it was Pippen and the Rockets. Yeah. Well, Pippen and them lost to Magic.
Yeah,
to Magic.
So it was 96 when they came in. So
when Jordan came back,
when they had Ron Harper.
I wouldn't say those are early years.
That was the early years?
No.
That was later years.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was later years.
That particular team with Ron Harper
and Kukoc.
Man, they had
that was a
squad. That was a mean team.
Yeah.
What was their record?
What year?
That was it 96? What year did they have that really good record that the Warriors broke?
Oh, I wanted 72-10. I want to say that was 98. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. 95-96.
95, 96.
That's Worm. That's all them.
That's the year that I'm talking about. That's why I said that 95-96 team. That's why I was throwing that in there.
Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, John Sally, Kukoc. Kukoc doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Did they have
Horace Grant on that squad too?
No, I don't think they had
Grant
Horace.
was gone already?
Yeah, Horace was already in.
Okay.
I want to say he was already with the Magic. Yeah. Kukoc doesn't get the credit he deserves. Kukoc was a beast. I felt like I had another point to say. None the least, Kobe Bryant's beating Jordan 1-on-1. Oh, that's what it was. Jordan's been beat 1-on-1 by a CEO. I watched it. Beat him. I think the game was to 5. They did a whole little spin-off of it on My Wife and Kids. You can Google it. Michael Jordan loses in 1-on-1 to CEO. You know dang well Kobe Bryant ain't never lost a 1-on-1 game.
He ain't trying to.
He ain't never did. They said Luke Walton showed up to practice. And granted, it's Luke Walton. They said Luke Walton showed up to practice drunk and hungover. And Kobe said, "You're guarding me the whole game. Whole practice, you're guarding me." He said he put up 70+ on him.
Well, this is what Kobe used to do.
And it's just
in high school, he used to play all his other teammates to 100.
Exactly.
And the closest game to him, the toughest game was somebody scored 12 points.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
Jordan, that was not Jordan's MO.
No.
Jordan just had it naturally, it seemed like. Like, Jordan could come in, talk you up, blah, 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 talking from beginning to end. It seemed like Kobe Bryant could come in one game and not say a word until you start talking. Okay, now we can get to talking, right? It seemed like they had a different type of focus, and that's what makes one player greater than the other. To me, Kobe Bryant, his focus, demeanor, everything. I'd have told you this January 1st, January 25th, and February 13th. You know what I mean? It's how I feel. We got a little bit more to get into before we're out of here. Skylar Diggins. We're talking about super teams.
That's
WNBA made the first
right
super team.
there.
So she's joining the what was it? Let me say it's the name is completely the Phoenix Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury, yeah.
Skylar Diggins Smith, Notre Dame, great. I mean, she was
going over there with Brittany Griner.
That year that they went to the championship, I mean, they lost and everything, but that year was an amazing year for women's basketball.
Yeah, it was. And what's the other girl?
Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, Diana Taurasi.
That's
a mean squad.
Yeah.
It just got real.
Exactly. Super teams are about to fall into effect over there in the WNBA. Teams are going to start. All right. Well, we need Odyssey Sims on our team to come over here and play with Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird, or we need her. Shout out Skylar Diggins. Shout out to WNBA making moves.
That was a big move.
The thing about the WNBA, the stereotype is that people don't want to watch it because it's girls playing basketball, right? Blah 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 blah. This might make people want to watch it.
See how they
super team of girls.
See how they run through. They're gonna run through some teams. I mean, people gonna catch wind of it, and then it's gonna shift, and somebody else, like you said, is gonna make a move, and then it's going to be very, very interesting.
The thing I love about women's basketball is the there's no James Harden. You know what I mean? Like you get what I'm saying when I say that. Like it's like they all are the Spurs in a sense. Like your best player is Brianna Stewart, and she's not finna go out there and give you 50. Granted, she can, but she's not finna sit there and do that. There's a certain fundamentalness in the WNBA that I love. Because it's like, just like I said, they run the play right, and they can run the play right. You know what I mean? And that seems to be what happens in a WNBA game. A lot of good plays being ran. So shout out to the WNBA. You want to talk Zion? Or no, we need to talk. We were talking improvements. This is somebody who improved. I don't know how many threes he hit the other night. Tristan Thompson. Jeez, did you see him setting the screen, popping right off, a couple feet from the three?
Trying to channel his inner Kobe. I feel him.
Inner something. He was on a.
I feel him. He made Dwight over there splashing.
Yeah,
I can do it too.
Yeah.
Just let me get mine off. You ain't the only one.
They played the Hawks. Tristan.
And I'm not.
Tristan
mad
gave
about
him
that.
27 and 11. Whoo! They came out with the 127-105 win over the Hawks. They just played a great game all around. The Cavs, Larry Nance Jr. with 23 and 12. Andre Drummond with 14 and 15. His first game, they took the worst loss in franchise history.
Ew.
His very first game there. Darius Garland with 12. Sexton with 23. Kevin Porter Jr. off the bench with 18. And like I said, Thompson off the bench with 27 and 11. No Kevin Love. Other side, Trae Young gave him 27 with 12 assists. John Collins with 23. Hunter with 12. Huter with 11.
Who?
Huter.
Oh.
Huerter. We got to get him up here, ask him his name. And Cam Reddish with 16 off the bench. Great game for the Cavs. This is a surprising game. You don't get that from the Cavs. We were talking about this during the commercial break. Or right before the commercial break? You said, how do you score 14 points in a quarter?
In a quarter. In a win against a team that scores 40 points in a quarter, and they take the L.
Yeah.
This
is the Pacers Bucks win. Pacers came out with a 7-point win, 118 to 111. Third quarter, Pacers score 14 points. Fourth quarter, Milwaukee scores 40
points. And you lose. 118 to 111.
I mean, talk about. Coach says go out there and close out the quarter. Talk about closing out the quarter. Talk about going out and putting up 40 on somebody. You know what I mean?
No,
you didn't close out the quarter enough. Clearly.
No.
How though? Like that's the thing. How is 40? That's like I said. That's the definition of just give us 2 more minutes. We'd have won the game. Just give us let it go to overtime. We'd have came out with that one.
Here's the deal. While they scored 40, the Pacers scored 36.
Exactly. It's not like you played any defense.
You know what I'm saying? It was run and gun. Y'all let us go. We're gonna let y'all go.
Exactly.
See what you can get.
Let's see who can score more.
They scored 14 points and won by 7.
Yeah. Won by half of what you made in the quarter.
Yeah.
And that means you could have scored 7 points in the quarter. It went to overtime.
Yeah, went to overtime. Scored 8 and had dub in a quarter.
Oh my goodness. The Wizards came out with the 114-96 win over the Knicks. Granted, it's the Knicks. Bradley gave them 30. You know, that's what Bradley does every night. I can't wait till John gets back over there, gets healthy again. Because they're going to be a nice... Or one of them leaves. Because one of them can complement any team. And I would love to see either one of them on any team in the NBA.
True that.
Bradley Beal can come in and elevate any team.
He would look so good in purple and gold.
Oh, yeah, he would. We were talking recent games, but this is just some quick news. KG and Dirk are getting their jerseys retired early next year.
Congratulations, fellas. Congratulations to both
Dirk,
of y'all.
Of course, 41 with the Mavs, and then KG with number 5 with the Celtics. I get why they're putting it there. I think he needs another one.
Whose ring is bigger? In the sense of...
Dirk.
Dirk's
is. I think Dirk's
one
is
of
bigger.
Those unicorn rings.
Yes, because we didn't expect that shit to happen at all.
Yeah, true that.
And probably that's probably the one of the oldest teams to ever win a ship.
Fans didn't see that coming.
Didn't see us sweeping the see us sweeping the Lakers.
Only Dallas fans saw this.
Exactly, and they saw it. They saw it as soon as the season comes.
Cowboy fans hating.
That's just. I don't think Boston's wasn't big. Boston's isn't worth more because it's basically the same sense of LeBron. If LeBron would have won against the Mavs that first year, right?
They had
Big Three comes together. Big Three wins, right?
Versus a Dirk-led team,
and then. So that was KG and them. They build their Big Three. You win the ship over the Lakers, right? Yeah. Boom. Now. Here's a better Big Three, a bigger Big Three, a more extravagant Big Three, throwing alley-oops, all this.
Yeah.
And you got these old timers, arthritis in his knee, can shoot off one leg, and this man didn't miss a free throw. What is it? The last two series didn't miss a free throw. Led a Dirk team with an average age of 35, and then you beat this team that struck the world. I mean, LeBron had a whole announcement about where he was going, and they thought they were going to win 5, not 6, not 7. You know what I mean? And you lose your first attempt. So I think that was big.
That was a shocker.
How do you feel about Buddy? He's
I'll tell you what. Buddy look good in purple and gold.
Oh, Buddy look amazing in purple and gold. I think he needs to. I think he needs to go.
I just don't know, Buddy, if it'll be in the starting position. But I could put you in Danny Gray's spot. I wouldn't trip.
True. That's a good point. I would not put him. He gives you Danny Green numbers with a more variety of things. You know how to stop Danny. You can just sit there and stay in front of him the whole game, face guard him.
Score.
Exactly.
Buddy done led teams.
Scoring.
So it's wild that Buddy coming off the bench like that. I definitely ship him. Let's speak it to existence. Buddy Hill.
It's what's his name? It's Luke.
Let's go to LA.
Speaking of the Kings, did you see Luke get the tech for telling Luke told Luka that the ref was a fan of him. He needed to give him his autograph because he didn't get the foul call or something. That just had me giggling. But this is what also was funny. Harrison Barnes said he's not cutting his hair until the Kings are above 500. And right now, their record is 21-33. And they just lost to the Mavs, 130-111. And Buddy Hill gave him 22 off the bench. Highest scorer on the team.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes gave him 6. Harrison... You can't give them 6 and threaten to not cut your hair. I mean, it's not like we really don't even care about your hair anymore.
The league gonna find you. Like, it is.
It's too long. Your hair is too long. You gotta cut it. All right. Two seasons later, he's still with the Kings. They're not above 500.
Elfrid Payton.
See, and he can't cut his hair at the beginning of the year because you're not over 500. Nope. You're at 0-0.
Wait till next season.
Exactly.
You can run this into retirement.
He gonna win the first game. They go with the first game of the season. He's cutting it all off. All right.
Hope dreadlocks and braids,
man. We got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. That's our time. This has been another edition, another hour, another episode of The Assist. I'm your host, Noah Harrington.
Shout out to my guy.
To my guy, Jay, our Houston sports expert. He'll be here next episode. Coach G, we're signing out. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here at 1 p.m. at rtfsportsnetwork.com. And make sure you go voting in Sunday. Go vote for The Assist at that same website. You can tune into our podcast every Thursday, so you're just going to podcast in front of my son. And we're getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.